Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally caught up. We are here. It is day 7, and we're recording the day 6 stuff. Obviously, I'm not recording in real time. I'm not doing midnight reactions. I ain't the only one in my house. But, anyways, day 6 was a banger. This World Cup, it's just swish after swish after swish. Call it the Knicks. Today was the day of stars, and we start with France Senegal. Now, France started off the first half really lackluster, okay? Mbappe, terrible touches. They weren't playing well. Dembele wasn't playing well. Everything felt very rigid, and that's very slow. Like they were feeling the heat. And Senegal maybe should have capitalized on this. Nicholas Jackson with that big chance that he missed, hit the post back off of Magnan's heel and then out for a corner. They should have been more dominant in that half than they were, and they weren't. And they kind of were a bit of a letdown throughout the game in general, especially in the second half when France changed the tactics and decided to be a lot more fluid with the attack, as these attackers naturally are. You had Elise coming inside more. You had, Mbappe going out wide more and coming in, and not just having Doué at left mid and Elise at right mid, and the strikers are Mbappe and Dembele in behind. They were moving within each position and really trying different things, and that's what partially gave Senegal troubles. The defense couldn't track them. They couldn't track the runners. And so Elise plays in a beautiful ball for Mbappe to finish to make it 1-0. And suddenly Mbappe remembers it's a World Cup and he's World Cup Mbappe. And so he scores that. Again, then Senegal have to push forward and try and get a goal. And they don't. And France capitalized. Adrian Rabiot plays a great ball into a subbed in Bradley Barcola, who looked fantastic. He got his goal, chipped over Mendy, runs in between the two defenders, is again the left to right, right to left runs were really tearing apart the Senegalese back line, which I thought would be a lot better. And credit to them, they never were out of it. I heard the announcers on Fox saying something incredibly stupid, shocker, that they were like, at 1-0 down, they're like, oh, you're only 1-0 down, and maybe you should stay 1-0 down. You shouldn't really push and go for it because you don't want to concede another to this France team. And it's like, 1-0 down is still 1. The difference between 1 and 2-0 is not a ton. You're losing either way. You're not getting anything out of the game. So you might as well go for the goal. And it was unfortunate that they conceded. But credit to them, they got a goal. They stuck in it. They got their goal. And by, a couple of nice moves on the wing and just lasers into the near post, Magnan should do better than that. And we'll see if that really matters come playing Norway into the knockout stage, not really making good quality saves and it's not giving me flashbacks to De Gea, but it could be De Gea 2018 where it's like a good keeper is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. But yeah, credit to Mbappe then to turn right back around and score what should be the goal of the tournament. He's like 30 yards out on a swivel, maybe takes a touch. I don't think he does. I don't remember. He just turns. He lets the ball guide him. He turns through and he laces it. And could Mendy get there? Maybe, but I don't think so because it's so fast and so pointed. It's a fantastic shot. Fantastic goal. Mbappe scores 2. Miley's chip bet hits. Everybody's happy. Go into the other game of the group, Norway, Iraq. And credit Iraq, they scored. They scored an equalizer after Erling Haaland tapped in the opener. But I think this Norway team is just too much for them, man. They score Erling Haaland twice. I think the story of that game was that Iraq were solid and they weren't just, a rollover team until the mistakes came in. That second goal was a mistake. Norway scored a scrappy goal towards the end. And a goal from a set piece is never like something that there's mistakes there if you're not properly marking your man or taking care of your zone. Conceding a nearby header from a corner is just a mistake. And you know, the kit masters of the World Cup started strong. You know, Erling Haaland proved, you know, he is that guy. He is that robot. Even seeing Mbappe score 2 goals, he said, "Hold my beer." He goes and he scores 2 goals of his own, and they're, you know, they're good goals. He's really hustling for them. He's working for them. He gets into those positions. He's making those goals himself. And then Messi says, "Hold my beer, guys," and goes off against this Algeria team. I want to start by saying, you know, we're looking at some of the greatest of all time numbers here. He's matched most goals in a World Cup. It will eventually be broken by Mbappe, right? But Messi will have that crown for some period of time. And he was magnificent out there. He is the heartbeat of this Argentina team. He's a very passionate team. Him getting into space in behind the striker with the ball at his feet, with the space ahead of him. That first goal, he has plenty of space, plenty of time. He picks his spot and he hits it magnificently. And I don't think that Zidane was good in this game whatsoever. And I definitely think that especially that goal is stoppable from the son of Zizou. But Leo did fantastically well in this game. He dictated the play. He got open. He even scored an offside goal from the right wing. He was showing that he's still a quality winger. And it was a fraction offside, but it's still fantastic play. And yeah, Algeria just didn't really show up. And for the quality of African team that they are, it was kind of disappointing. You would expect them to give a fight. And now the rest of this group's a tough group. It's not easy. Austria are high flying. We're gonna get into that in a minute. Jordan weren't too bad themselves either. So yeah, you got to go out there and you got to get your win. You got to go get a win. You got to go get 4 points from these next 2 games and go and make the group yours. But yeah, Argentina are high flying and cruising and showing why they are worthy defenders of the World Cup trophy. And Messi is still showing that he is still him. So credit where credit's due. They played magnificently, and their fans show up spectacularly as well, I have to say. Argentinians from Buenos Aires to Kansas City, they were there for this game. And yeah, it was great to see. It's why we love the World Cup. It made Kansas City feel like the biggest vibe of the tournament so far. Just how passionate their fans were and how fantastically everybody showed up and how great the occasion was. And how good the game was, too. So now on to the last game of the day. Jordan scoring their first goal in the World Cup. Unfortunately for them, they were unable to hold the 1-1 result that they had, and they lost 3-1 to Austria, who decided to prove that, you know, these mid-tier European teams are still higher quality. They showed up, unlike their Swiss counterparts or, you know, Czechia or Bosnia and Herzegovina. They showed up and proved that they deserve to be there. As I was saying yesterday that I was very disappointed in Europe, they stepped up, and that was it was good for them. Now, I did fall asleep during this game, so I don't have much commentary on it, but from what I did see, Arnautovic did very much change the game. Absolutely fantastic work from him. You know, getting a goal, getting an offside goal, I know, but he got his goal in the end. It was a penalty, but he forced the own goal. He nearly scored himself, if not for the offside flag, and he played spectacularly. And showing why he is the Austrian star he is. And yeah, so I'm really interested to see how this group plays out. The group of death, I believe it's Group I. France, Norway, Senegal, Iraq. I think it'll form out. I think it'll be, you know, France, Norway, Senegal, Iraq. Just because of Senegal playing France first, France won't really have to go hard versus Norway, and I don't think Norway will necessarily have to go hard versus France either. They'll have already qualified. Senegal have to go play Norway, and that might just be a tough draw. Maybe Senegal will lose that one, and they just have to get their points versus Iraq. And so we'll see how that goes, and if they qualify for the round of 32. If I were them, I would say, you have to go and get at least a point against this Norway team. Show why you deserve to be there and why it's the group of death. And then on the other hand, Argentina, Austria, Algeria, Jordan. This group is interesting because Jordan are not bad. They're not bad by any means. And so Algeria need to get 3 points versus Jordan or win versus Austria. And I think Messi's also going to stat pad this group a little bit now. Now, in hindsight, he might end this group with a good 6 goals or so. And clearly the front runner. I think Argentina look really good, and they're going to have a good time if they keep their foot on the gas, and their fans keep their foot on the gas, which I believe they will. They'll cruise through this group. But yeah, that's my day 6 analysis. And if you like what you're watching, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time for day 7. Peace.